All right, guys, good morning. I'm going to take this forecast chill because my wife and the kids are making hot chocolate. I'm about to go join them. It is a nice, cool morning. It is snowing outside, and it's just one of those beautiful mornings. So, all right, guys, as we wrap up the week here on a Friday, I want to give you guys just a quick overview of the portfolio. I'm using CoinLedger. I don't have I clicked this referral link here and I tried to copy it. I just don't have one. So if you guys, I'm sorry, I don't have a referral link. I'm just being honest with my funds of where they're at. So XRP is still our number one holding here, and I really do believe in XRP strongly. I think it's got a lot of potential, not just from a technical analysis perspective, but I really feel like the Lord has spoken to me clearly. Put the treasure on a ledger. So we have XRP and XLM on a ledger, and I think they're going to do really well, guys. I think they're going to do very well. And then we've got a series of other coins. I should probably go like this because I don't know why 5 cents. We call this dust. There's just dust laying around. And I don't think I can't even cover the fees to even get out 5 cents. So let's go like this. SHIB is our lowest holding, followed by Doge and then Cardano, Solana, and then we have 2 others here. So guys, that's the portfolio. Currently we are up 43% in the portfolio. And the reason why we're up, and I'm not trying to be rude by this, but a lot of people are down because they tried to get in at the top. We just never left the bear market. And we really just tried our best through 2022 and 2023 to time the bottoms. And the big reason of why there's any profit here is because, sticking out through the bear market. So I encourage you guys, when the bear market comes, keep a subscription. I'm not even saying you have to keep it with me. Keep a subscription with somewhere. Keep watching YouTube, because that's really when the most money's made. I say this to our group that I coach here. Millionaires are not made by timing the top. Genuinely, it's made by timing the bottom, because you can actually miss the top by about 30 to 40% and still make massive gains as long as you are pretty good at timing the bottom 20 percentile of the bear market. So let's talk about today. So Bitcoin is moving back up. Altcoins are moving back up. The only thing I know my face is covering this a little bit. Bitcoin dominance is still green. I would love to see Bitcoin dominance red, but it's not. That's okay. Altcoins are turning around. Solana doing decently this morning, 7%. We have Cardano starting to see a little bit of a move up. Trades in favor is at an 86% chance of a pump back up, which is a great place to be looking for long trades, as well as 80% chance on Solana. XLM, XRP is doing great, and then obviously Bitcoin here. So with bullish divergence, this usually says that we're probably going to push back up. Now, let me give you guys a couple targets so you guys can come away with some good stuff here. What I think you guys need to be watching for is really just the CME gaps. The bottom gap is already filled. The top gap is 87,250 if you guys want to write that down. Once price reaches this, I wouldn't doubt if we see a little bit of a pullback potentially. It does fairly well correlate with a descending resistance line. I could argue it could go up maybe just a little bit further. But if we're going to see the stock market move back down, as I talked to you guys about yesterday in the future forecast. By the way, there's no future forecast today on Friday. I actually pushed it to yesterday because I felt like everyone needed to get buy limits set up, and we already had 2 buy limits hit that before this pump today. So real quick, guys, you guys know that Trump has to refinance about $7 trillion in about 6 months. Okay, the way that he can do this with a lower interest rate on the 10-year yield is that if the stock market crashes, then bonds do really well. And if a bond market actually increases, it lowers the interest on the 10-year yield. Okay, so the interest rate of refinance is actually lower when the stock market crashes. So I think Trump is probably going to get his way. So what we did is in the last week, we actually sold $200,000 of our $1 million in cryptocurrency. Actually, I'm sorry, we had $1.4 million in, and I sold 200,000. And so what we're doing and what we did yesterday is actually I gave you guys a trading view indicator that I really felt like I sat with the Lord and I felt like he gave me this. I'm going to warn you guys, this is extremely unconventional, the way I found these buy limits. But once I set it up, it was incredible how the levels were being able to be predicted. We took a Fibonacci, we actually inverted the Fibonacci and added new levels that don't come with the indicator. And I'm going to give that to you guys in the future forecast. You can have it. It's right here. Click on this trading view chart. You will get that. And then I'll show you guys how to set up the buy limits. And then I have a spreadsheet of all the buy limits with the numbers on them. I'm not your financial advisor, but if you wanted to copy them over in TradingView, you can do that because I give you guys that spreadsheet as well. So we're preparing, guys, for a drop in the market. We are. Yes, I understand the market's going up and I'm really happy about this, but as I've been sharing with you guys on YouTube here, and I'll just do this one last bit because I feel like, going into the weekend, everyone's, very bullish. And I'm telling you guys, nobody thinks about a possible drop scenario when the market's bullish because everybody, and I don't blame you guys, trust me, I'm with you on this. Everybody would rather have hope inside than fear. I know I would. But I've come to realize that when the market is bullish, that's the time to actually think about risk management to the downside, especially because Trump has to refinance this debt. If I was a big institution, I would purposely be pushing the market up right now so that everybody who's so everyone comes in and they take long leverage shorts to 10x and 50x because they're excited. Oh, I'm in profit. Do you guys understand that when you do that, you allow the institutions to come back down and grab all the liquidity of the leveraged longs? The institutions have to emotionally get you stimulated though, so the market goes back up in order to crash it back down. I know I just sound like a bearer of bad news, but I think Trump is probably going to get his way and refinance debt at a lower interest rate. So that's my thought. But here's kind of just where I want to leave you guys on a Friday. Hopefully it's as beautiful, like snowing in the morning with hot chocolate. My wife and kids are getting hot chocolate ready right now. Like, there's nothing better than that. So let's just talk about this really, really quickly. I know I've done this a lot, but if you're new, I hope you get something out of this. Is basically where the market is at right now. It's going up, it's been going back down, and we're looking like it's going back up. If we do go up a little bit further, fill the gap, and then start moving back down, you're going to want to have had a plan. So the plan is actually really simple. It's just, what amount of money are you guys wanting in the market? If the market drops 35%, you're okay watching your portfolio drop 35%, but then what happens if the market goes back up? Are you okay earning on this money? So what I've done with our members, I've kind of just walked them through a quick equation. I won't do all of it here. I don't have time for it, but it's basically, if you have, let's say, $10,000 in your account and you took out, let's say 10% or even 20% from your account, that extra $2,000 to $1,000, if those were set up in buy limits just to catch the drop on your favorite coins, how much are you really risking? Because the worst case scenario here that most people would tell me is that, Travis, I sold 20% of my portfolio and it just went straight back up. Well, if it goes straight back up and never comes back down, you somehow were able to time the exact bottom, and if it never came back down, you probably made 200 to 300 to 400% on the money that was left in there. Like, that's a win. 300 to 400% gain on these altcoins in the bull market with 80% of your portfolio, like, that's very, very good. The odds of you potentially being wrong and Trump getting what he wants, I think those odds are pretty high of potentially people getting this wrong, because I do think there's another drop back down. So what is the risk to you? I can't make this decision for you, obviously, but what's the risk of taking 10 to 20% out and put them in buy limits? Okay, that's great. Here's the deal that a lot of people are in though. And you're like, Travis, I get that, but what the heck, dude? I'm already down 45% in my portfolio. I want to know what to do here. Okay. If you're down 45 to 50%, which a lot of people are because they end up buying the top, I'll just give you my perspective on this real quick. And you guys can watch the future forecast for more. And honestly, the buy limits, get in there for the buy limits, okay? I'll teach you guys a little bit of a strategy here, but the buy limits, I think, are what you really need to see this morning. And I already have them set up. There's 25 of them I set up yesterday. So if you're already down in your portfolio and you're like, okay, if a drop is going to come, I do want to have some buy limits set up in the market. Well, you've really only got a couple options here, guys. You either have to inject money, okay? This can be from your work. This can be from savings. It can just be from another avenue, okay? You either have to inject money into the buy limits. So if the market goes back down, the money you have inflowed into your buy limits, it actually brings your break-even entry down a little bit lower, your average cost of entry down lower. So when the market does take off, then you can see that appreciation. Or if you're like, Travis, look, dude, I don't have any money on the sidelines. This is all I got. Okay, what can we do here? Well, guys, not to sound like a genius here, there's only two options. You can sell some, okay? Or you can hodl. You can hold. My thought is that altcoins have probably a maximum of 30 to 35% drop that they could go from here. There's one case where I could argue maybe 50%. It's just a very extreme scenario, but I think 30 to 35% is not unlikely where we can see the stock market potentially crash to. And I'm just looking at really, really strong supports in the stock market. So if you're down 45%, people are like, I'm already down. The worst thing for me to do is to sell right now and this market goes straight back up. I understand that. So maybe what you do is you look to take a smaller percentage. Maybe it's 5% and 10% instead of 10 and 20%, okay? Or if you're like, I'm already down this much, I'm just gonna hold, that's okay. I do think the market's gonna come around. Tom Lee, my financial advisor, Rami Khalil, told me about this. Tom Lee, he does have a bearish prediction of Bitcoin hitting $60,000 this year. And I know, boo, I'm with you guys. But he's also got a bullish prediction of $200,000 by the end of the year. And guys, I really think Trump is shaking a lot of trees right now and he's stirring things up, and I don't think the institutions like it. And I think between that and what the agenda is to get the stock market lower and refinance debt cheaper, I think we have another move down. But if you're okay holding for 3 to 4 more months, I do think the whole market will turn around. I do. And if you're like, I'm okay waiting 1 to 2 years, then you have nothing to worry about, guys. Like, I think all altcoins will be much higher than they are right now by the end of the year in October and November. So this is just a little bit of a risk management strategy that I kind of go over with our members. And I just want to give this to you guys to think about. But if you guys want to set up those buy limits, I do think it would be really smart to get some buy limits set up just in case we do see Trump get his way. I know it doesn't look like you should be doing that today, but the market can turn around the opposite direction really, really fast. So that's in the description. We give everyone 25% off our membership, so enjoy that, guys. We also do trade setups. I'll go over this really quickly. The members who have joined, we are 284 wins and 0 losses. I know it sounds crazy. It is true. We traded through the bear market at 4%, and as the bull market took over, you can see our percentages went up. So we call a bunch of 10% wins. Like, if you guys put all your money into these trades, you've absolutely crushed the S&P 500, and we've actually had multiple trade calls out of 20%. We've already won one of those. So the trades that are active, those of you guys who are using those buy limits, risk management, you guys already have auto buy limits set up. So the people who are in these trade setups, they're using 2 buy limits. You guys have already snagged some of the best entries. I just showed this to you guys yesterday in the future forecast. Those of you guys who use the buy limits on XLM, you bought in literally at the bottom of XLM and you're riding it back up now. You guys are doing that because it's a very unarrogant stance to take of saying, I know where the bottom is. We say we could be wrong. So let's buy insurance on every trade that we enter into and use buy limits. And so that's what we've been doing. And we keep an open ledger to the public. So when we get comments like, Travis, this is a scam, you guys are not that, you don't have that high of win rate. Genuinely, we do. And we even take it to another degree of like, how many of our trades have used a buy limit? So 78% of our trades, they've never even used a first buy limit. 16% has used 1 buy limit and only 4.93% have used 2 buy limits, and none of them have used a 3rd buy limit because we haven't even turned it on yet. Okay. So we keep really strong track records here. So if you guys are looking for a place to just learn how to take trades very safely in an unpredictable market while still turning over and churning some profit in your accounts, this might be somewhere where you may want to join. And again, that's what the membership is where, well, we just call them out for you guys. If you want the indicators we use to go 284 wins and 0 losses, you can grab that for $4.99. And if you're a member, we'll give you $150 off on top of the $4.99. So what I'm trying to do today, guys, is tell you, like, who are we? We are Trade Confident. I personally, and the president of Trade Confident, I trade my $1 million account and I give you guys all of my entries and exits in the future forecast. But then we call out trade setups that I think people enjoy because they like the volatility in the market. And then we give you guys discounts on indicators to actually have the tools to do it yourself. Because the goal is not for you guys to stay in the membership forever. It's for you guys to stay in the membership, learn what you need to learn, purchase the indicators if you would like, and go off on your own. If you want to stay in the future forecast to go through the bear market and bull market with me and just get my perspective, you can do that. But I don't know. I just thought there would be some people out there that just wanted to hear kind of what we're about. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys today. And what we're doing right now is we're giving everyone 25% off the first month. So you're going to get 8 future forecasts that you get to watch, all the trade setups for the next month. You can sign up and cancel, and we're still going to give you $150 off the Pro Pack, and we're still going to give you $400 off the top and bottom finder, which is exactly what we use for all of our trade wins. So if you just want indicators for a good strategy, sign up. Cancel the next month, take all the coupon codes and have it for yourself. Literally, that's what you can do. I don't blame you. If I was in a pinch, I would do that myself too. Get the data that we're using to have the highest win record literally ever recorded on cryptocurrency, learn it for 30 days, and leave the membership if you want. Grab the coupons, okay? So guys, I'll leave that there. I do think the market could go up a little bit higher. Like I said, I do think we could possibly head up here this weekend to 87,250. I just don't know if the market's going to head up too much higher than that before we see a move back down, because I do think Trump is probably going to get what he wants by refinancing the debt with a market crash and the bonds going up and getting the 10-year yield to be a little bit lower, so that interest rate's a little bit cheaper. If Doge is going around cutting jobs from everybody, I think Trump is going to be okay waiting a little bit longer for potentially the market to drop, so he can save even more money on the balance sheet of the U.S. by having less interest payments. Okay, so that's kind of what I think. Guys, I love you. Have a good one. I'll come out with another future forecast this coming Tuesday and share with you guys my next best steps to make money and give you guys an update on the buy limits and crash proofing our portfolio in case the worst does happen. All right, guys. Have fun. Enjoy watching the future forecast. Download the free indicator. Download the spreadsheet of the buy limits. And I think you guys will really enjoy the journey we have over here with our family at Trade Confident. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.